This is Surface 2.0. It's basically a 40-inch LCD display. It's made in partnership with Samsung. It's called the SUR40. So let me take you through a number of applications on here and explain what this thing is all about. One of the key pieces of technology in this is something called pixel sense. So a really important thing to understand is this isn't just a touchscreen device. This device can actually see. So, I mean, you're familiar with display technology, Rob. In display technology, you have a red, a green, and a blue pixel. So for every one of those pixels on this display, we've added an additional pixel. That's a camera. So let me show you what that means. If we go into Data Visualizer here, and I can put my hands on the table, and it can recognize the orientation of my fingers. So what this is giving me is the X and Y coordinates of my fingers, but also the orientation. So if you put your fingers on the table, it's shown as a different orientation. So literally it can see my fingers, and it can see the orientation, it can see the movement of them. The other key thing here is it's multi-person multi-touch. So we're both familiar with smartphone, with Windows Phone. You've got a single touch device. This is a multi-user, multi-touch device. So let me show you a couple of other applications and how that really starts to come to life. Let's start out here with Bing. We can take a couple of these cards, which have tags printed on the bottom of them. We can enter a search into the search box and we can go and search on Bing. Or in this one, if I drop images on, it recognizes the tag and I can say search now. In this case, it's going to go out to Bing. It's performing a search for Las Vegas. And as the images come up, one of the key things to notice here is that I'm going to select an image, and you can see as I select the image automatically rotates and pivots towards me. Think back to that demo I showed you a second ago. This screen can see the orientation of your finger, so it can tell when my finger is pointing in this direction and your finger's pointing in that direction. So that's a really great example of how this screen can see. We can also do searches for maps. We can do multiple different searches at the same time. So I'm going to do a search over here, and if you want to do a search in the text box though, we can both interact with this surface at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead and do a map search, and over here I can interact with the surface and search around on my map for Las Vegas. So there's multiple different ways that we can use the Bing application, but it's a great demonstration of how this is a device that sees, a device that's a multi-user, multi-touch device. Great in a hospitality environment, so in casinos and in entertainment environments, the kind that we see here in Las Vegas, this is a perfect kind of device. So let's take a look at a couple of other applications. And we're going to go for Razorfish DaVinci, and we can start to paint on the screen. So you can see that it recognizes it's a paintbrush. As I put more pressure down, the ink gets thicker as I put less pressure down. So literally, again, the surface can recognize what type of device is interacting with it. And I can do some clever things here. I can choose to change gravity on this surface, so I can drop everything down. I can draw a few balls on here, and you can see that we've basically got a physics engine in this Razorfish application, and we can start to bounce things around the screen. We can change the magnetism. We can do all kinds of funky things. A couple of other applications that we've got on here. Another one is our social stream, so something that you and I will be looking at a great deal this week. So basically this is an application that I can point it out to Flickr, I can point it out to RSS feeds, and this is just going to scroll through a set of feeds that we've given to Surface, and we can interact with them. So it's just going out to the web, it's going to search for a couple of feeds, we'll wait for one to come up. I can click on one of these items here. In fact, this is the latest news item off the next Microsoft blog, so I can go in and read it. Or I can flip this image over, and it's going to present me with a Microsoft tag. So I can scan the tag, I can literally take that story away with me. So this is Microsoft Surface, the SUR40 Surface 2.0 device. It's an incredible example of natural user interface. Hopefully you get the chance to come by, come and take a step into the What's Next booth and have a play with Surface 2.0.